wild. It is well documented over decades and decades how difficult a place to play BYU and Provo, Utah is. It was, in many respects, a hostile crowd as advertised. I will ask you about that. But your team able to fend off 6 match points in that 5th set on night 1, and then turning around and winning in 4. We know how difficult it is to win up there. As you've been able to process it in the days since you came back, how's it hitting you?
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked to come out with 2 wins. I hadn't really realized that we were 40 years. We had won 3 times, and then we were there in 2019, and then to win 2 in a row. Yeah, that's that was pretty gratifying for sure. And look, we played just okay. You know what I mean? The thing that I loved was the fight that the guys had, and the grit that we had, and in terms of the statistical stuff that we kind of measure ourselves against, we were just okay. But, it is a tough place to play for a variety of reasons. And to come out with 2 wins when we now have 3 in a row, and we literally had 3 in the first 40 years of the program. Pretty satisfying.
Yeah, 808-296-1420 is the number to call. There was what appeared to be an exchange with a specific fan, and that was talked about on the broadcast. It seemed as though, at least according to the announcers, you were looking to not continue until that fan situation was addressed. Can you fill us in on exactly what transpired there on that first night?
Yeah, look, I mean, that's total bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, that's like what we had to deal with. Like, it was the same guy in the same place in the same situation in 2019, and it's like I was just like, why should student athletes have to deal with this? And look, the guy that's associate AD I consider him a friend, a guy I've known a long time. He's been on championship committee, high caliber, high quality guy. He came up and apologized right afterwards and was like, get that guy out of here. But I told the coach after the second set when it happened, this is the same guy. If you remember back in 2019, the coach had to come over and, tell the guy to back off. And they've just let him sit there. And, even the sideline reporter for BYU TV was like, yeah, we've always had to deal with this. So, and then they started getting off into, well, what exactly did he say? And I'm like, look, if you're going to lower the bar to the point that he's using like the N-word or really horrific things, and that's like everything past that is okay, like that's on you. You guys are missing the boat on this at all. You have a great fan base, and to let this one tool to sit there and ruin the experience for everybody, like I just get enraged at that. Like, and I'm gonna back my guys. You're sitting there and they're literally kicking the partition into the guy. So where else is it where that you're allowed to physically assault a guy while the game is going on, and then they're just okay because he didn't use the N-word? I lose it, and I told the coach and the officials before we left the court at the end of the second set when we came back in the third set, and he's still sitting there, and I told the guys, don't step on the court, go to the end line. We are not taking the court until they take care of this. And they sat there and went back and forth a little bit, and then they had an armed guard go stand next to the guy. But look, that's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, you can cheer, you can heckle, you can do all you want, but when you start physically assaulting someone and kicking the thing into the guy, I'm sorry. I'm going to back my guys every single time, and we are not going to step on the court until you take care of this.
It seemed like a lot of that, and I think that is well deserving of an applause there, that sentiment for sure, because there is no place in the sport for that kind of vitriol. And as enthusiastic a fan base as Hawaii is, you don't see that stuff at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center, but it seemed like a lot of it was directed at Christian Tatrisky specifically. Is that accurate?
Yeah, well, it was when he came back. I mean, and that guy is the same thing. He'll pick out one guy, and look, and one of the guys at the end of the bench said that he saw they're literally inches away from him and saw that he had the Google Translate out, and he was looking to find some Bulgarian words to set him off a little bit. But yeah, look, no one should have to deal with that. And I appreciate the fact that BYU got rid of him and did this, but they should get that guy out of there. They don't have to. you shouldn't lower the bar to the point that he's saying these horrific racist things. And if he's not, and if he said something that was just somewhat offensive, that he's okay when he's kicking the goddamn thing at the guy while he's going back to serve. Like, sorry, I'm not on board with that.
He was not allowed to attend the match on night 2?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That
shouldn't be allowed to sit in that seat ever again.
Yeah.
He's lost that privilege. Sorry, I don't care how much money he's giving you or who the hell he is. He should not be allowed to sit in that seat ever again and assault student athletes while they're out there performing.
And that somewhat segues into our first question. And, of course, you can text in or call in 808-296-1420. This is from Shelley. Coach Wade, BYU is a hard environment to play at. We're talking about why right now. How do you keep the boys, especially the freshmen, focused and blocking out the chatter? How do you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, that's something just as an athlete you got to learn. And it's, look, going into this environment, we talked all week about staying focused on, staying in the moment, your performance, what you're doing, interacting with your teammates, and keeping this all kind of here and not letting all this other stuff that go on, because there's plenty that can distract you. And it's just something that you learn over time. I think for Christian and Adrien a little bit too, these guys, they're used to playing in front of huge crowds. And, in Europe, you're allowed to bring air horns and drums and the vuvuzela, and noise is a thing. But they're not, like, saying mean, hurtful things to you. So that was some new territory for him. And, look, it was a little deliberate on my end to let's get him out there. Let's get them seeing what this is. The Stan Sheriff Center is an amazing place to play, and there's so much aloha for everybody. But the reality is, in college athletics, there's not that much collegiality on the road at some of these places. Thankfully, we get to play most of our games at home, but we wanted to kind of get them out there and early in their career and have them try to experience it. And, so to answer the question directly, it's like, you got to put them in the fire. You got to get them out there and let them see it. We can talk about it and see how they respond, and really encourage them. Let's just stay focused on our side of the net and what we're doing. And one of the things that we've learned over time is that everywhere we go, it's the biggest game of the year, and many, many times it is the biggest crowd ever. And that's just so we're into big crowds. This was a little bit of a one-off where they start like assaulting you physically and saying stuff, but so just the noise and the distraction that comes with the territory. So like I said, when we go down to North Carolina in a couple weeks, I will guarantee you there will be the biggest crowds of the year, and for many of those schools it will be the largest crowd in the history of their program, and that's why we're doing it. To get down there and let's grow the game. Let's get more people out watching men's collegiate volleyball.
Let's ask you now, Hawaii 8-0, ranked 4th in the latest AVCA poll. I want to ask you about what you feel like you learned about your team here, facing some of that hostility in the environment, facing some adversity, facing multiple match points on that first night. What did that represent for your team, their ability to overcome and be victorious on back-to-back nights?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a few different things in there, but really the end of it was that when challenged, and literally like physically, emotionally challenged, they fought back. These guys, we didn't give up. That first night, we were getting smacked around in the first set. Even in that first set, we battled back and got to 20. Second set, again, we're down a bunch early. We battled back. We win the second set. So they continue to show just some resolve, some grit that you want to see, especially on the road. At the home when the crowd's cheering you, it's a little easier. But to be able to do that on the road in a hostile environment against another top 5 team was really, really positive. And that's all stuff that you kind of bank, put in the bank and build on going forward. So while we know that we can play at a higher level in terms of our production and our efficiency, great night, great weekend for us to go out there and to win a couple matches in a really difficult environment when, frankly, we just weren't playing our best.
This texter saying, for Coach Wade, how do you guys pick yourselves back up after a mistake or after a set loss? What is usually that communication like?
Yeah, and look, we don't focus on errors very much at all. I'm all about trying to find the solution. So we're not look, errors happen, and there's good errors and there's bad errors. As long as the errors are in the context of the stuff that we're talking about, whether it's serving, attacking, we just keep going. And when we talk about them, we're looking for the solution. For me, it's about creating the images in the player's mind that is the fix, that is the solution, that gets them to do it right. We don't focus in on the errors that much. They're a part of it, in sports in general. And so for us, it's, like I said, more staying focused on the solution and moving forward and making sure you're making the adjustments you need to make better plays.
Now, we may have buried a little bit of the lead here because the significance of those 2 wins in Provo, Utah also meant a milestone for you, your career 300th victory. And, very deserving of applause here at Ruby Tuesday. But how do you view that achievement, that accomplishment?
Yeah, look, I coach with a guy that has 1,200-something wins, so, that was like the number, but on the men's side, 300's more significant, but we never really talk about individual accomplishments, whether guys are getting, the weekly awards or national awards and that kind of stuff. It's more about what the team's doing. And look, the 300 wins for me in the time that I've been privileged to run this program, we've had a lot of people that have come through here and worked really, really hard to help us elevate this thing. And I personally am proud that where we've taken it from when I took over in May of 2009 and 2010 was our first season, and what we've done in terms of the crowd support we get and how we've been able to engage the community. That to me is really significant. And along the way, we've won some national championships, some league championships, but more importantly, we've brought great joy and pride to the people of Hawaii and giving them something they can be proud of and come out and support every single night. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Well, we have the French connection in the house. Freshman Adrien Roure and sophomore Sakanoko. We will be hearing from them a little bit later on. Those are 2 guys who tend to hear a lot of teenage girls wooing and hollering during matches. But they will be joining us here in just a little bit. But I want to get into some of the individual performances from your squad on the other side of this break. We appreciate everybody here dealing with some of our speaker issues. But please continue to call in and text in with your question or comment, 808-296-1420. It's the Charlie Wade Show live from Ruby Tuesday at the Moanalua Shopping Center. We'll be right back.
Straub Benioff Medical Center has the only burn care unit in Hawaii and the Pacific region. We've been treating burn patients for over 40 years and continue to provide the complex care our community needs. From specialized physicians and therapists to nursing staff, dietitians, and more, our goal is to help patients achieve their highest level of recovery. To learn more about the Straub Benioff Medical Center Burn Care Unit, go to straubbenioff.org.
Bring over your funds to Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union from another financial institution and secure it with a great rate for 5 months. Earn an amazing 4.25% annual percentage rate. Get in while the rates are still in the 4s. Don't miss this opportunity. Rates are rapidly changing.
back. It is the Charlie Wade Show here live from Ruby Tuesday at the Moanalua Shopping Center. Still basking in the glow of a Hawaii series sweep in Provo against BYU. First time it has happened in program history. Kanoa Leahey here sitting next to the head coach of the Rainbow Warrior Volleyball program, Charlie Wade. I wanted to ask you about some of the individual performances, because when you talk about growth for this team, it was perhaps no more evident than the kind of ebbs and flow that we saw from Christian Tetrisky. That first night, it was not getting off to a good start for him. You sub in your son Kanoa Wade for a little bit, gave him a little time to just kind of regroup, reset, and then he comes out and he goes career 20 kills and looked phenomenal, and then played really well on night 2 as well. So what did you see in Christian Tetrisky and his ability to, because it's probably likely in a lot of other cases, especially when you're dealing with freshmen, they get off to a poor start, that's a wrap for the rest of the evening, but he was able to fight back and go basically all world.
Yeah, and it's a great example of where, like, making that switch, we joke a lot about the greatest coach ever is the bench. You just sit a guy down for a few minutes, and you got to have a guy that can go in. So, to have a second opposite that can go in and be a viable option. But Christian, he bounced back. He got off a little bit. And look, I think he was a little taken back by the environment too, because there was so much kind of toxicity and vitriol that he was just like, Christian Tetrisky is a really wonderful human being. Like I said, I would almost put him at the 6'9" Aleu Choi version, where it's like he is a great young man, and I think the whole thing had him off kilter a little bit. So when he had an opportunity to go sit down for 5, 7, 10 minutes, whatever it is, and kind of look at it, and then you roll him back out there, and then he was ready to go for sure, and that's what you want to see, that he's able to bounce back. And this guy's been a high-level player and been the leading point scorer on virtually every team that he's been on. So we want to be able to put him in that situation, but he also has to know that when it's going sideways a little bit, that you're going to have a chance to sit down and take a break. So great weekend for Christian in a lot of different ways, both on and off the court.
This texter, following up on what we were talking about earlier in the show, great games, congratulations. Are you, Coach Wade, going to pursue anything with the NCAA regarding the harassment of Christian Tetrisky and just kind of the overall
their deal.
thing?
Look, this is not new. I don't this time of year. I don't got time for that. If our administration, their administration, or whatever, that's a BYU thing. They addressed it. I'm not. And I don't even want to say this, but it seems like every single time we go there, there's some kind of drama like this, that we got to deal with. So for me, it's not that pleasurable place to play. But I think for the players, they love it. Tread came up to me and goes, "Can we come back my senior year?" We'll do everything we can to get B-Way out here next year and let Tread go back in and have some angry old white dude yell stuff at him his senior year.
Well, funny you mentioned Tread Rosenthal, because we got a text, someone asking about that 8-point run in the third set on night 2. That was amazing with Tread at the service line. What was it like for you watching that near comeback? Would have been one of the most insane rallies if that had been completed. But this was also the night after we saw one of the most insane highlights that we've ever seen from a setter, the 2-hand reverse dump shot, which was something that I had never seen before. So
yeah, that one I have never seen, and all of us, like, and everyone I talk to, all our staff, player, I ain't never seen anything like that. Like, and it was no margin for error. Like, he's all the way at the left antenna, and the number of people on the planet that would even think that this is something they could do at that moment in time, and then actually try it and execute it. It was like, that should have made SportsCenter.
Yeah.
That should have made SportsCenter that night for sure. And look, Tread has, last year, he served in bounds at over 90% the entire year. He led the team in aces, and this is a guy that had never jump served before in his life. And then this year we start off, and he's modulating the toss a little bit. He flattens his out, and he has not been as productive or as efficient as we know he can be. And to have the weekend that he did serving from the service line, so that run in the the third set was impressive. He did not miss until his 23rd attempt in the fourth set, and he was high on it. And this is a place where everybody knows it's the hardest place to serve because of the elevation and the tightness of the whole thing. So really important for us going forward to see Tread Rosenthal start to be like a 95% efficiency server where he's cracking it. And it wasn't like he was just popping it in. He was going back and stroking it. So really, really good stuff for us.
You've been in this game for a while. How do you observe where we are now with some of these dynamic and very tall and athletic setters that are in the game? You have Nikolov for Long Beach State, Tread Rosenthal, and now 6'11", doing the things that he's doing. The evolution of that position, how do you observe it?
Yeah, and Rowan at UCLA is a big dude. I mean, that's just where it's at. Like, everybody's getting taller. You know, you're seeing once in a while you see a libero that's 6'5". You know, the middles, it's more and more and more. You're seeing 7-foot tall middles. So the impressive thing is with a guy like Tread, like just how athletic he is and how he moves around and how he goes to the ground and plays defense. You know, when you just watch him play and see him do the things that he does, you don't realize how tall he is till you stand next to him and go, holy shit, he's almost 7 feet tall. Like he's like he plays like he's 5'9" when he's closer to 7 feet.
The block awakened in Provo. You had 18 blocks the first night, 16 on night 2. What do you attribute that to? Yeah,
like at the end of the day, more spiking. Like their offense was, and I think I said this at one point. You know, I don't remember playing a team with an offense that was like this for years, where setter gets 2 steps off the net, it's a high ball in every situation, no middle. The second setter that they brought in the second night would go a little bit against the flow. So, you know, when you set the ball that high, and we got time to get 3 guys out there and get their feet set, and even when they were in system, it can run it lower and flatter. And that happened when Tread had that serving run. You know, the guys that we're having blocking at right front are big. They jump touch, you know, literally 11-10, and the top of the net's 8 feet. So, this is not a team where the outside hitters were savvy or subtle. You know, they were just thundering every time. Yeah. So we'd get this huge block up, and they just thunder straight into it. So a little bit was, you know, kind of the team you're playing against. But again, when you're just hitting high balls. And to their credit, I thought the first night they were really, really good at hitting high hands off the top of the block. But they were taking full swings almost every single time. So when that's the case, you're just going to get blocked more.
Christian Tatrisky gets the Big West Conference Freshman of the Week. Kurt Neusterer gets the Big West Conference Defensive Player of the Week. We have a texter who is asking if do we know if Kurt Neusterer is planning to return next season for his redshirt senior year?
Yeah, I mean, he and I've it's kind of an open page right now. I think, look, I think this weekend goes a long way to tell him he should come back because he has another year of eligibility. Kurt is an exceptional student. You know, literally, he's been a straight A student, and he has other opportunities professionally. I don't think he's going to go play professional if he doesn't. He's going to go into the finance world. That's what he's doing and working on right now. But I think he's kind of feeling the vibe with where this group is. And, you know, for me, it's like we obviously we'd absolutely embrace having him come back. But, you know, if he's ready to turn the page in his life, then, we would wish him well. But like I said, I think after this weekend, it kind of moves it more into the column where maybe I could do this for another year. Because look, when you're young, you don't have the perspective. This is absolutely the best time of your life. Like, where else are you going to walk around and people want to take pictures and sign autographs and, you know, do that? So it's like he absolutely should come back and finish out his eligibility.
All right, well, let's hear from some players. We mentioned the French connection is in the house. Louis Sakanoko and Adrien Roure. Louis is going to jump in the seat when we come back. You're listening to the Charlie Wade Show right here on ESPN Honolulu, live from Ruby Tuesday at the Moanalua Shopping Center.
listening to The Charlie Wade Show on ESPN Honolulu.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's the Charlie Wade Show live from Ruby Tuesday at the Moanalua Shopping Center. Kanoa Leahey sitting next to Charlie Wade, the head coach of the Rainbow Warrior Volleyball program. And now it is a three-person party because we have sophomore outside Louis Sakanoko, who is joining us now. Louis, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you. You were doing very well in Provo. You were looked upon to provide a spark here for this team, and you did so on that first night. 8 kills, came back with 13 kills on night 2. It seemed like you were feeling really good. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, that was wonderful. BYU was a game I really wanted to play, so I just worked hard to start to be on the team and like on the 6. So that was wonderful. Really great experience.
What was it like from your perspective as a player to be in that hostile atmosphere with that crowd?
To be honest, after Stan Sheriff Center, he's so big and everyone loves us so much. Go somewhere where like everyone hate us. That was wonderful. I actually liked it.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah, I love it. It's how it is in professional after. Like when you go somewhere, everyone hates you. So happy to be back. Happy to be back for Stanford tomorrow. But no, that was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I think that is the case for some guys, right? It kind of gets you going. Charlie, I wanted to ask you because you were looking, as mentioned, for a spark there. And there are other guys on that OH2 position to turn to, but you turned to Louis. What was the thinking there when you were up in Provo?
Yeah, Louis had a great couple weeks of practice. You know, we rolled him out there. I don't even remember what match it was, and yeah, he struggled. He made 6 errors in one set. We ended up dropping the set. Sorry, you know. But you know, and then so with us, we are a meritocracy. You know, like, look, your performance matters for sure. And so he kind of cycled back to the bottom. But to Louis' credit, he worked his Akole off every single day. And literally the week and a half, the 2 weeks leading up to the BYU series, excuse me, he was leading that team to victories almost on a daily basis, you know. And I joked, we lost more games during the week last week at practice than we did on the weekend because Louis was on the B side and they were, you know, in the 3 pins, those guys, they were really, really good. So, and look, Louis, you know, I've known him a little longer than some of the other new guys. He's a bit of a showman, you know, really charismatic, and you can just tell. I knew that he would thrive in that environment, and I knew when I put him in the back row that Tread would send the Bic almost as soon as he entered, and he did. And, yeah, I thought it was just a great entry point for Louis to showcase what he done. And, look, in Louis' credit, he's been working really hard. He's been taking extra reps. He's spending time serving, spending time receiving, spending time to elevate his game, and that's what we want. So for me, it was a great opportunity to, you know, reward that kind of behavior, put him in the game, and he shined.
Louis, what's it like with that depth at the outside hitter position? Because as mentioned, there are other guys who are competing for playing time. Clay Weeder, Finn Kearney. What is that relationship like and that competition like in the practice gym?
We don't have any problem together. It's a fair. Everyone is so good. Like we really push each other to be the best every day. So, but outside of the court, we just friend. Like it's not any problem between us. Oh, I don't think so. But no, for sure, that's just cool. And we like this thing to like push each other all the time.
What is your relationship like with Adrien? Do you guys go back a ways playing sort of on the French circuit, or how long have you guys known each other?
We know each other for 2 or 3 years now, and no, we're a friend. It's actually a really, really good friend of mine. We're always together. We live together, and we just brother. So it's really cool to be on the court with him, and yeah, share time and just be with him. It's cool.
Charlie, would you mind filling us in on sort of the recruiting origin story for these two guys?
Yeah, I'd say I got wind of Louis from Colton. Colton was playing at Paris Volley, where Louis' dad is he's president of the club, and you know, Colton said, "Hey, you got to see this kid." And Louis was actually going to a Canadian team. Had already signed and was doing that thing, and then he sent me some video, and then I jump on a plane and just go over and watch it a little bit and said, hey, this is a guy that we can bring in right now. And then I had seen Adrien in Argentina at the U19 Worlds where they were the champions, and they won. They destroyed the U.S. team, and Adrien was really good in the semifinal match that I watched against the U.S. And it turns out Louis and Adrien knew each other in the national team program. So, Colton brought us Louis brought us Adrien, and we're going to keep that pipeline going.
How much French is spoken in the practice gym
Too
or
much.
the locker room between
that's,
you and Adrien?
that's a problematic question. No, we try to don't speak French too much, but the problem is we can't speak English together. It's not possible. It's impossible. Because I mock his accent, he mock my accent, and sometimes we just don't know how to say the words. It's just so easy to speak French together. But people get pretty mad if we do that, so we try to stop. But that's just so much fluent for us. It's our native language, so
Yeah.
So we try to don't speak too much, but we speak.
Wait,
a
but
bunch.
you guys make fun of each other's accents?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, because when we speak, we think oh yeah, we have a good accent. But when the other one speak, oh, what is this accent?
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
exactly the same one. So yeah, no, we speak a bunch of French.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. What is your background? What is your ethnic composition? Would you kind of explain what you're made of?
So my dad from Senegal, born and raised there, and he immigrated in France 21, I think. And my mom is born and raised in France, but my grandfather mom's side is from Armenia.
Okay.
But I born and raised in France, and now I'm in America.
Yeah, that's very interesting. How have you enjoyed life in Hawaii here going on now 2 seasons?
It's lovely. It's wonderful.
Yeah?
Yeah. I couldn't probably dream better than this. I never been in America before. I've been in Hawaii, and I was like, oh, well, look like the mainland. My first trip was in Indiana. Probably not the best part of America. But I was like, no, Hawaii is really good. And now I saw California, Utah, North Carolina soon. So, no, Hawaii is the best by far. Everyone is so wonderful. The fans here, beside just the town, the fans in Stan and everything in the volleyball part is wonderful. So, no, Hawaii is just the best state by far in America.
Oh, there you go. That's going to get the crowd on your side for sure. All right, this is a texter who's watching the live stream on YouTube. Louis, I don't know if they're trying to somehow instigate something, but Louis, who's better hitting off the bic, you or Adrien?
Ooh, that's a
Creating
good
friction
question.
over here.
I think we don't have the same. I think I hit the ball harder, but he's probably smarter. He can aim more deep corner than me.
Okay.
It's the best, but yeah, I think we are pretty complementary on that.
Charlie, smart for you to chime.
Of Louis and Adrien hitting the bic for 6 rotations, I don't think there's any team in the country that can match it. This is high, fast, and hard. And the connection with tread, picking them off, it is, literally you have a fourth attacker in every situation. So it's, it's impressive.
What's it like for you? How hard are you trying to hit the ball? Have you changed a little bit of your mentality where maybe you're not always trying to deliver the fastball and mixing in a little bit of the off speed so that you can get serves in and that kind of thing? What's your mentality there?
I think if the ball is perfect, actually just hit the ball as hard as I can, to be honest. But the change in my mentality was also when the ball is not perfect, we need to find solution. Because I made a lot of error. Even I still made it, but less than before. It's manage and also the ball is perfect, but I have a triple block, so let's tip the ball next to the block or something like this. It's just trying to be smarter, and also the connection with Thread is much better now than last year because we know each other for a longer time now. So it's easier. It's actually easier for everything.
Yeah, can you talk about that connection with Tread and how that's evolved over time now in your second season?
Because last year was a little bit tough because I landed December 26th. The season was 10 days after that. So that was a little bit tough at the beginning. But I play a little bit during season. So that was pretty good. But the summer came. So after the summer, that was tough again. I get injured a little bit during the fall. So that was a little bit tough. But now I think Tread improved a lot, and I improved too. So that's just easier. And also we have older European with him. And Adrien and me learned the same volleyball. So I think how Adrien asked the big, I'm pretty similar to that. Then Clay, for example.
This texter asking, Louis, you were awesome in Provo. What are the specialties you would say you bring to the team? And I think you kind of answered this already, but how happy are you being in Hawaii? And maybe we can change that to how happy are you playing for Hawaii in front of that crowd?
I think I can. I'm someone who smiles a lot and try to bring energy on the court. I think that's my biggest thing. Really, we can be down 20, and I don't care. I'm just going to go in it, smile, and try to win the game. So I think that's the biggest thing I can import to the team. And I'm so happy to play. I think everyone is here to play. No one is here like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit on the bench. Like, no, that's not me, though. And so really happy. I work hard for that. So also happy to that. Like, work hard, pay all the time. Even if that take time, that pay one day. So really happy, and I play with my friend Adrien too. So that's like the double prize at the end. It's like finally like there are two French guys on the court, so it's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna just keep working hard to stay on the court now.
Yeah, how do you, Charlie, kind of encourage Louis to maintain this level of play that we saw there in Provo?
Well, I mean, he's worked really hard. You know, like I said earlier, I put him in a few weeks ago. He made 6 errors in a set, and then he kind of cycled to the bottom. And, you know, to his credit, he kept working, and he got to the point when I watched him in the week and a half leading up to the BYU series where it's like, this guy's ready to go. And then Clay struggled a little bit. He's coming off a week of illness. And so I, didn't hesitate at all to put Louis in. And, he's responded in a really positive way. And what you hope going forward, and I mentioned this to the team, where you just build on that. Okay, so Clay became the starter. Louis comes in, and you hope that you just can keep building on this. Finn's going to get in there. He's going to put his thing, and then we just keep building on this. So when we get to the end of the year, we've reached our full potential and are the best team we can possibly be.
This is another texter chiming in. For Louis, what do you do to stay focused on both school and volleyball?
I think the key is do your assignment fast. Like last year, I struggled a little bit because my English was not that good. Even if now it's not that perfect either. But my English was not that good. Just come here, new school in English. I don't know anything about how school work in America. So I was like a little bit lost. So this semester, I really try to, I have an assignment due in like 10 days. I'm going to do it now. So I'm done. And after you just go to class. And I'm actually lucky because I don't have any problem to understand what I'm doing in class in most of my classes. So I'm just trying to do everything as soon as I possible and work hard. Like if I need to work like 6 hours one day, but the next week we travel to BYU, I'm going to be chill for that.
This is a text for you and Adrien, but maybe this is something that you can even chime in on, Charlie. Louis and Adrien, does sports psychology play a role in your team's preparation?
Yeah, I mean, look, I said this the other day too, and this is kind of a little more in line with my formal education in sports psychology. It's you got to get guys' heads straight, you know what I'm saying, and create images in their mind that are going to allow them to be successful. There's a lot of this to be calm and confident and clear-headed, whether you're serving or receiving or attacking. Yeah, it's a big thing for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, Louis, we appreciate you giving us some time here.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure
that was wonderful.
Seeing you and talking with you. Congratulations on a phenomenal showing against BYU. So, I'm glad you're getting the ovation here from the fans. Say aloha to a pest-free home with Aloha Termite and Pest Control. Whether termites or ants are invading your space, call Aloha Termite and Pest Control for expert pest protection. Call 808-622-2268 or go to alohatermite.com today. All right, how about we get the other French guy, Adrien Roure, in the seat on the other side. You're listening to the Charlie Wade Show on ESPN Honolulu. Show here live from Ruby Tuesday at the Moanalua Shopping Center. And we have switched out members of the French Connection for the Rainbow Warrior volleyball team. Kanoa Leahey sitting next to Charlie, but we now have Adrien Roure, the 6'5 freshman outside from Lyon, France. Adrien, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing perfect.
Have you done anything like this before, like a live radio show with a live listening audience? Have you done this kind of thing before?
Nah, never.
Yeah. What's it like?
Yeah, it looks super fun. I'm gonna have a good time.
All right. Well, we're very appreciative of you being here, and you have come out the gate in tremendous fashion here for this team, averaging over 3.1 kills per set. You're hitting over 300. You were the Big West Conference Freshman and Offensive Player of the Week, again, right out the gate. How has this transition been for you, suiting up as a freshman for the University of Hawaii?
I think it was pretty smooth because we trained really good during the fall. So we really start the season really confident about our game and about myself, and I think my condition with trade have been pretty good, and we can still be better. But yeah, it's been pretty easily how to start, but pretty cool to be able to face a top 5 team.
When did you decide that the University of Hawaii was the route you wanted to go in your career? Because from what I understand, you had some options to maybe not play college volleyball and go a different route. Why did you decide ultimately to attend the University of Hawaii?
I'm going to say Louis.
Oh, okay. Nice job, Louis.
Yeah, I was thinking about probably stay in France and play professionally. I had some offer, but at the end of the day, I really wanted to experience the Hawaii culture and Hawaii men's volleyball program. I've always been watching that on YouTube and stuff for years. And when my friend Louis came here and called me a lot about all the things he's doing here, I said I want to be there for the next couple of years.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really fantastic. How would you describe your relationship with Louis, and how helpful is it that you have another guy from your home country on the roster?
Yeah, when I just landed in Hawaii, it's for sure for him, I'm sure it's have to be more difficult when you're just alone. But for me, it was way easier to transition. He knows a lot of guys on the team. He know the state and stuff, so it was really easy for me. He introduced me to a lot of people, and at the end of the day, every people on this island is so cool and so chill, so it's really easy to adapt.
Oh, that's really great. I should probably give you a chance to answer the same question that we posed to Louis. Who's better hitting the bick?
That's a good question. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for constancy, I would probably choose myself, but if you want someone who can crush the ball harder, I can choose Louis.
Similar to what he said. That's perfect. Charlie, what have you thought of Adrien and the way he's played here through 8 matches in his freshman campaign?
Yeah, really thrilled. Obviously Adrien has played at high level for a long time. World champion. He was the best player at the European Championships last year. I really thought he'd get the MVP. They gave it to Setter, who's a really, really good player, but he was the best outside hitter. So he is a well-rounded, elite-level player. And the thing that I've been most pleased with Adrien and Louis and Christian, these guys that come in that are just incredibly talented, they're really willing and to listen and learn and to get better. They're not coming here. A lot of times these guys come and they just want to show you what they can do. And these guys really are kind of listening and trying to learn some of the stuff that we're talking about, because we've had so much success and okay, well, in this environment, this is what we got to do. So, thrilled that Adrien's here. He's an elite level player, and he really is in a very ascendant phase. We won last week. He's been our best player through the first month of the season. He did not play well in Utah. I think he would agree to that. It was below his standard, and that's a great sign for us that we can go on the road and win matches with both Adrien and Christian not playing their best. Future's really bright. We're going to be a lot better going forward.
Your coach is always honest, sometimes brutally honest. What's it like to hear him say that, and does that motivate you now for what's going to be a tough series at home against Stanford?
Yeah, I'm often really hard with myself. I knew after both games that I could have done way better. That was pretty annoying, but at the end of the day, that show also even when weren't playing good, we can still win games, and that's a really good strength we have. And I think we come out of this series better than we were before. And yeah, I can't wait to play tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it as well. This is a question from the Facebook live stream. Adrien, what's the difference you see between European volleyball and college volleyball in the United States so far?
That's a good question.
That is. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say some points. I think the first one is European volleyball is a little bit more like, how can I say, not less physical, but European are better in like, how can I say?
More technical.
Yeah, more technical.
Okay.
Like some free ball, defense, and passing, they're going to be better.
Okay.
But if you compare like average American guy, like they can jump and crush the ball harder than most European can. So it's a very different game. In Europe, it's more technical, and yeah, it's going to be more tools and stuff. And here, they just like every guy can jump very high and swing very strong.
You mentioned you're looking forward to the series here tomorrow and Friday at Stanford. Charlie, how are you approaching this series?
Yeah, I mean, it's another opportunity. Every team we've played has been ranked in the top 20 this year, and you know we're moving into the much more serious part of the schedule, and this is a chance to play a top 10 team at home, and really looking to build off the weekend that we had. You know, I thought our level of engagement was phenomenal this weekend, and we want to maintain that level of engagement and get back into being as efficient and productive as we were at home. So melding those two together will be our goal this weekend.
Adrien, how difficult was it to be riding in the van with Charlie Wade driving and controlling the radio station and somehow listening to Let's Talk Sports in the morning and forcing you guys to then talk on the phone to us live? I mean, he controls the radio, that's bad enough, but then he makes you listen to that show. What was that like for you?
That was pretty fun, and we the guys on the car, as a joke, we said like, hey, we should call and like talk to them, and without telling them, he like called them secretly, like sneaky, and give us the phone.
I texted Kanoa.
Yeah. So we called it. I can't believe you put them through that. I mean, let them listen to some good music or something.
Do you remember what you asked for? You asked for, like, we're going to Trader Joe's.
Hey!
You asked for the licorice. We're making a Trader Joe's run, and then Billy, you know, he asked for like these. I don't know if it's the right one or not, but he asked for like some maple cookie thing that he asked for. And you didn't say whether it was red licorice or black licorice, so I got you one of each.
Oh, thank you. How about that? What a guy. What a guy. Charlie Wade and the Trader Joe's trip. Yeah, Billy didn't even like really recognize that Trader Joe's has the best licorice. I think we're all very familiar with that, I would hope. All right, so you have Stanford tomorrow and Friday. How are you, Adrien, approaching this week's matches?
I think we're all pretty tired of this road trip, so it's going to be like part of the game. But, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks we didn't play in the stand. So we both, like, the whole team is pretty excited to be back, especially for a top 10 matchup.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very fun.
What's that experience been like for you playing in the stand and having the crowds? And it's only going to get bigger and bigger as you get further into this season schedule. What's that experience been like so far for you?
It's just a feeling like you have so many people who want you to succeed and be good that you don't want to disappoint them. So you just go out there and, like, give 100% of what you can because all the people here like cheering you the most they can. They come here like every week, support you. So I just don't want to disappoint them and be the better version of yourself.
All right. How about a hand for Adrien Roure? We appreciate you joining us. Freshman outside, continue to play at a high level. It's been really, really fun to see you in a Hawaii uniform. We got about a minute left. Any last thoughts here, Charlie?
Yeah, really, you know, I am again humbled by the support. You know, this weekend playing at BYU and winning, I was commenting that it really was almost a postseason level of text messages. Like the first night I got like 50-something text threads. It means a lot to beat BYU to a lot of people in Hawaii. Straight up. You know, and then we beat them the second night. It was like, you know, not quite national championship level text thread, but and look, I want to say this, and in all due respect, if you send me a text congratulatory to anyone, not just me, but to anyone. And then I respond, like, thanking you. Don't reply back. Because then I'm now into like 600 text messages over it. Anyway, so it was an unbelievable weekend, and really, I am most impressed with the group that we have here tonight. Thank you guys for coming out. You know, I think it's going to be a phenomenal weekend in the Stan Sheriff Center. We have almost 40 alumni that are going to be there on Friday night playing.
Yeah.
So the synergy that we have created with this program is off the charts, and it's because of the aloha that you guys have shown them throughout their careers. We really are in an amazing moment in time in Hawaii men's volleyball history. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I hope you show up both Wednesday and Friday, and it's a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
That was way more than a minute. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to Louie. Thanks to Adrien. Charlie, of course. See you next time. Aloha.
You've been listening to The Charlie Wade Show, brought to you by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, HDS, Hawaii Pacific Health, Ruby Tuesday Hawaii, HGEA, HCAM, Castle Resorts and Hotels, Aloha Termite and Pest Control, and Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union.